Hello viewers. In this video we will see about how to make use of pivot table. So first we will see what is meant by pivot table. So people used to call pivot or pivot table. So basically it helps us to summarize big data. So whenever we have a small data or a simple data, it is easy to analyze. Suppose if you have more than 1,000 or sometime lakhs together data, so it is very hard to analyze that with the without using these tools. So here we can make use of summarizing the big data. It takes a huge pile of information and makes it smaller and easier to understand. This is how, with the help of pivot table tool, we can make use of it. So it will helps us to move things around easily. You can change how the information is shown just by dragging and dropping the stuff. It's like rearranging a furniture in a room. And math magic. So here we are not going to use any formula or function. So when you do drag and drop, and you can make use of right click, and you can see the sum, average, count, and so on. So that is what here it has mentioned, that it is a math magic. It does quickly math like adding up numbers or finding averages without messing up the original information. And it helps us to group and sort the stuffs. So you can group things together like dates or categories and pick only the bits you want to see. So as well as the only that whenever you do any analyzing data, so picture plays a vital role. So with the help of show pictures, that is to make cool charts and graphs, you can show the trends or important stuff. So which will make understanding in the information way easier and better. So let us see. Okay, here I have a sample data, so which consists of order ID, product, category, salesperson, quantity, and amount. So almost we have one, two, three, four, five columns, and if we see the records, you can see control down. So almost I have added 31 rows. It means excluding the header, we have 30 rows. Okay. So what and all it consists? So it has order ID, the one, two, three, four. Product A, product B, just a sample product name I have given. Then the category you have electronics, clothing, and so on. Then salesperson, the names, okay, and the quantity and amount. So I have added one question section. So according to that, we are going to question. So always make sure whenever you want to create a pivot table, so all the headers need to be present. Don't have any blank cells in between, so that a data should have some meaningful information. So let us go to insert. To insert the pivot table, we are going to insert tab. So here under tables group, we have a pivot table commands. So you can click on here. So you can ask that from table or range. Once you click on from table or range, it will ask you, it will select the range. You can observe here it has taken from A1 to F31 cell reference. Now it is asking us to choose. So where do you want to place pivot table, either in new worksheet or existing worksheet? So let me go to existing worksheet because we have some questions. Let us go to that. So I'll give one existing worksheet. Then I'll select the location. So location I want somewhere here. I'll place here, and let me place down here. Then click on OK. Okay, now we have inserted a pivot table. These are the pivot table layout. You can see a pivot table fields. These are the column headers. Okay, these are the different way of showing our data. filters, columns, rows, and values. So you can see here this is complete pivot table layout. So we have different views. If you click on the settings, so by default you can make use of this, or if you prefer you can make use of this. So these are the two things you most probably every user use, either first one or second one. Okay, so whichever you prefer you can make use of it. So as of now let me have the second one so that it is easy to make you understand. So I have got a three questions here. So one, two, and three. So the first question is total sales by salesperson. Display the total sale made by each salesperson. So first thing is we want salesperson, and the next is sales. Sales is nothing but in our column header you can see it is a amount. So let me take salesperson into the rows. You can observe salesperson into rows. The next is amount. So amount is nothing but sales. So let me take, or when you click on any value items, it will directly take it into values. So either you can drag this and drop here, or you can just click on this field. So we got sum of amount. When you click on here, you can get see many options we have. So if you go to value field settings, so you can change the column heading name, and here we have summarize value field by. These are the different functions. So previously as I said, we're not going to do any use any functions or formulas. Just a click and drop and make use of this functions. So we can see so value as we have many information here. So right now let it be sum itself. If you want count you can take count or average, max, and so on. So right now I have done sum. Okay, now I want something meaningful header name. It has given something row label. So either you can do function F2 and change it, or whenever you take any actions, or I can say is whenever you bring a new method or properties or any information, so automatically Excel will give you either one or more than one new tab, or we can say menu. So when I click on here, you can see there is two tabs newly opened. One is pivot table analyze, another is design. So if you want to make use of design, you can click on here. We have various light, medium, and dark. So for example, I am making use of light itself. So let me have this for simplicity. Light gray I'm taking. And next, instead of sum of amount, so I can double click this and I can make it as sales amount or sales. I can give as sales also. Okay. Then click on OK. So either you can do this or you can do F2 also and you can change it like this. Okay. So right now let me take as sales, and here we want some separators. To make it to get a separator, so do right click. So always remember right click is a best friend for you whenever you want to do some formatting. So now usually we will be using format cells. So in this case, don't use format cells. Go to number format. I'll tell you why it is very important. Because when you select this number format and if you go to the settings, so it is a one-time effort. If you select it, use thousand separators. Decimal as of now, I don't want two. So let it be zero. If you want two, you can make use of two decimals. So right now I have done everything. So I have used thousand separator. Okay. Once you do okay, it will get effect for the entire row, or I can say entire column. See here. So entire column it has taken. And here we are getting still row labels. I don't want to show that it is a row label. I want to show it that it is a salesman or salesperson name. So for that, under same design itself, we have got a layout. You can go to report layout. Here we have different way of forms. So compact form in general it will come in compact form, and one more we have outline form, then tabular form. So let me go to show in tabular form so that header it will display automatically. So now we got salesperson and sales. Next, the first question is finished. The next what we want. So sales breakdown by category. Show the total sales for each category. So let me select this. Go to pivot table analyze. Under actions, you can select and entire pivot table. So you can make use of shortcut key Control A as well. Then do Control C. Come to here. Click on anywhere here below cell reference. Do Control V. Now, observe the question. What is the question now? Sales breakdown by category. Show the sales, total sales for each category. So I want sales, let it be. I don't want salesperson. Instead of salesperson, which one I have to choose? Category. So I'll uncheck salesperson. I'll check category. That's all. So now we have got category wise sales. The first one, first question, we have displayed the total sales made by each person. Then the second question is show me in the breakdown by category wise, so as well as category wise there is two category, we have clothing and electronics. The next question is quantity sold each product. So let us select Control A, do Control C. The same pivot table only we are using it. Do Control V. So observe the question. So here I want quantity sold for each product. So I don't want category. So I want product. And instead of sales, I want what? Quantity. So I'll uncheck amount. I'll select quantity. So whenever you want to sort by either descending or ascending, what you can do is you can make use of right click. So when you do right click, you have sort. So smallest to largest. You can make it to largest to smallest. So you can observe that who has got more sales, which person has got more sales. So here John, Mary, and Alice. And for clothing, you can do right click, sort by largest to smallest, and here also largest to smallest. So total 77 sum of quantity. So total 8,950 sales by category wise, and here by salesperson wise. Suppose if I am adding more data, so that time what will happen? So for example, so I'll go to pivot table. So I have got here total how much? 30 rows. Okay. So what I can do, I'll just increase these rows, select this, and I'll do Control D. So instead of product A, product C I will give, product B I will give, product A, product B. Okay, just randomly I'm giving. So instead of Alice, Mary, so I'll give Mary. So whom else we have? John I will give. Then Mary I will give. So some changes we are making it. So let me do three. Okay. So I'll make this also sales amount also. Okay. So we have done it. So whenever you do any changes, this should reflect in our pivot table. Correct. So we go to question. So it is 8,950 as of now it is showing. If you go to pivot table, so if I select the entire data and let me show in status bar what it is showing. So total how much it is showing? 10,750. So now let us see like is the same amount it is showing under question section. No, it is 8,950 still. So what is the issue? So we will do right click and we will make use of refresh. So I am doing refresh. Is any changes happen? 9,450. So is that now it is correct? No, not still. So then what is the issue? So whenever you change any data, okay, so you have to make sure the range it has selected correct or not. So if you go to pivot table analyze, so now you have a change data source. So you can click on change data source and click on change data source. So it has taken only up to F31, but whereas how much we have now, it is almost 35, F35. So I have to change the area, data area. So for that, what I will do, so I'll select this. So I'll select this entire, control shift right, control shift down. So it will take it to right side and at the end of the cell reference. So now we have got, see, A6 to F35 including the header. Now you can do enter, then click on OK. Okay, so now let us see. Okay, let me do control Z. So go to pivot table, analyze, change data source. So control shift down arrow, then click on OK. Okay, so now we can see 10,750 it is showing. So let me see this, how much it is showing. It is still showing 9,450. You need to do right click, refresh. That's it. So now we can observe. Okay, let me check. Select entire pivot table, change data source. So it has still taken 31. Then click OK. Then the next is what? Total quantity. So go to entire data source, then control shift down. So this is how you can change the data set. So this problem won't be there whenever you change the normal data into table. Suppose here, since we have a data, it is a raw data, it's a normal data, it is a list. So if you want to change it to table, once you change it to table, whenever you do add some additional columns or rows, so automatically it will get reflect. So for that you need to do only right click, refresh. So as of now, since we have only list, we have to keep adding. So there is a one advantage as well as one disadvantage. I can say more advantages in table and few some disadvantages. So what happens is, whenever I have a table, when you do any additional records, if you add, okay, it will get reflect. The problem is, the size of the excel will be getting more kb. Sometimes if data is more, it goes to more mbs. So that is why some people, or I can say few people, they won't convert the list into table. So if data is very less, there is a possible that you can make use of the table. Okay, so for example, so let me show you what is the useful of tables. I select this, control shift down. I want to clear this entire data. Okay, so again go to home. Under home section we have editing, clear all. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I am going to convert this into table. Okay, table is nothing but a two dimensionals. So control A, select it, go to insert, and here you have table. Click on table. So it is asking, so where is the data for your table? Yes, as of now it is up to 35 cell reference. Do your table has a header? Yes, my table has a headers. Click on OK. So you can make a normal, without style also I can make, or with some style also we can make it. Now it is got a table. So here I don't want any filters, so I'll uncheck the filter. Okay, so now we'll have a question. So for that, before we will see what is the table name. So table name, I have it has taken as table 1. So let me consider as t sales. Okay, I have given a table name. Now directly I can go to question section. Now from here also I can insert pivot table. Click from pivot table. Just remember what was the table name we had given just now. So it is t sales, means table sales. So I want it here itself, then click on OK. So first question is what we want, salesperson as well as sales. So let me go to salesperson, then amount. So for this again we do some formats. So I want this gray style, then I want a header name, report layout, tabular form. So I want some number format. Click on number format. So whatever we have done previously, same steps only I'm doing. Then click OK. So now we got it. So you want a descending order? Yes. So you can do right click, sort by largest to smallest. Now, so let me copy this. Control A, Control C. Then I'll go to this cell reference. I'll do Control V. So in this case, what we have to do? Sales breakdown by category. So the total sales for each category. So remove salesperson. So check category. So as usual, just copy this, paste it here. So here I want, instead of category, instead of amount, I want product and quantity. Okay, total sum of quantity. So right click, you can make it to sort to largest to smallest. Okay, so let me go to question. So do right click, sort largest to smallest. So now we have got all the answer for the each questions. Now, as I said, whenever you convert a list into a table, so observe here it is 10,750. If I go to the last entire last data, so what I'll do is, so let me make it as normal 34 order ID. So let me copy this and paste below, and up to 40 we will do this. Okay. So let me copy with the control D. So order, let me have double click on here so that we'll get total now 39 orders we have. So instead of clothing and electronics, let me have clothing. Okay. Then electronics. Me copy and paste the same thing. Okay, so let it be this. Now you can see here total, control shift down arrow, total sum is the 12,150. Okay, if you go to question section, still it has got the same old amount itself. So previously we need to select the entire data, but now if you do right click, refresh. So observe here 10,750. If I do right click, refresh, see here automatically it will reflect. So that is the good things we have whenever we are converting a list into table. So here also we got, here also we got it. So one time effort, everything will get changed. So again and again, you don't need to change the area which data we have. So with the help of pivot table, we can do this analyzing. Okay, if you think or if you want something, some like what can I say is like artificial intelligence. So everything, some help we require to analyze the data means. So in 2021 Office Excel or in Office 365, we have got that. What do you say? It is like AI, artificial intelligence. So here, if you go to Home, so right side, analyze data we have. If you click on analyze data, so Excel will automatically analyze the data. So you can see various question also. How many different products are there? Which is the salesperson for category? So it has giving the simple pivot table also and even chart also. So anytime if you prefer this one, or you can ask some unique questions. So for example, highest sales, and give highest sales who has made. Okay, then who has made highest sales, so it will show you allies, so on. Okay, so total quantity, tell me how much was the sales happened total quantity. It will give 102. Total sales. Give me the total sales. So if you want percentage also it will give the percentage wise with the chart itself. So like this you can make use of this tool. So sort category by total amount. It will give. You can click on insert pivot chart. So it will give like this with the pivot table as well as pivot chart. So you can make use of this tool which is very helpful. So whenever you got any question directly you can ask. And if you want to insert any pivot chart, you can go to insert. So you will be having in few Excel will be having under pivot table analyze itself. So in this I'm going to insert, then I'll go to pivot chart, click on pivot chart. So I can take some basic chart. So for example, if I want column chart or bar chart, I can take this also. Click OK. So I can make use of this. If I don't want any buttons, so directly you can go to pivot chart analyze, click on field button. So I can remove this. So let me have the data should be descending to or ascending order. So you can observe here. So it has come descending order. If I want label, so click on this plus. So click on data labels. If you don't want total, you can remove. If you want to change this as sales by salesperson, so you can do sales by salesperson. So like this, you can make use of pivot chart. Okay. So I hope you understood this. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel.